Oh, I can see it.
Yo, what's good, everybody? I'm your host, King Jaquel Martin. We're back with an amazing episode of Whispering to Your Soul's Intimate Conversations, and I am here with the lovely, amazing Christine. Please introduce yourself to our audience.
Hello, hello. I am Christine Mantilla, and I am so excited to be here with you.
Amazing, amazing. So we're going to have a little bit of fun today on this beautiful episode. So, Christine, can you tell everybody what you do, who you are?
Where do I start?
Give me a little Costco sample.
What I do. Okay. That's an odd question. I connect people. I'm a connector.
There we go.
Yeah. So I work for a college, South Coast College in Orange, court reporting, paralegal, and medical assisting. I also am a paralegal in a law firm, and I'm a realtor at Lionheart Pride in Orange. Those are my side things. My most important thing is connecting.
I love that. I love that. So let me ask you a question. How did you become a connector? How did you find that in your purpose?
That's the crazy part, right? I had no idea.
Okay.
I had a friend who many years ago, and I wish you would have met him. I think that I met you after. His name was W2YS, and I met him helping people. Craziest thing. And one day he tells me he wants to hire me. And I'm just like, wait, what are you talking about? You want to hire me? He goes, but I don't want to hire you my company. I just want to hire you to do what you do for my company so that we can grow. And then I want you to move on and do that with other companies. And I didn't get it. This was literally 3.5, 4 years ago. I didn't get it. I had no idea. And it took me many years, like probably until the end of last year to realize, oh my God, I have over 10,000 connections in my phone. I'm helping businesses, individuals, and nonprofits already.
Right.
I'm a connector.
Right.
I know what Dawood was saying. It just so happened my dear friend passed away 2 years ago, right before Thanksgiving, 4 days before Thanksgiving. And man, I learned a lot from him.
Okay. Well,
a friend speaking life into me.
Out of respect, let's just take a moment of silence for that young man.
Yeah.
May he rest in power and love. And also Thanksgiving is coming up. So it's interesting that you're able to be on the show and give thanks to the young man who positioned you in a way in your life that you never knew that was going to happen. Because sometimes it takes someone from outside of your circle to say one thing to change everything.
So true. So amazing.
Yeah.
You know, he happened to be a veteran.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I heard a little birdie told me that you do a lot of things with veterans. So what are some of the things that you do for vets?
Yeah. So again, I'm a connector. I'm a connector of resources and veterans. And we do this in California with the Veterans Series Forum. We also connect veterans and resources in other states. And it's funny enough, we've made some incredible connections with resources. Now we've become the resource where we have friends in other states, like our dear friend, Sergeant Major Mario P. Fields over in one of the Carolinas, who shares who we are and what we're doing with people that are maybe transitioning and moving out to California, which I can't wait to introduce that newly.
Shout out to Major P. Fields. Shout out to my mentor. Shout out to my
Yeah. And so I get to help this newly transitioned active duty to civilian guy coming out here, and then I get to share them with you, MSA Noel. Oh my gosh.
That's dope. So here's the thing. A lot of people see what you're doing now and they're like, I could never do that. A lot of times people think that you start here, right? Because people see the finish line of your life, right? But they don't understand the race that you're running. So before we get to the race that you're running and how you became who you are today, what legacy do you want to leave? What impact do you want to make on this world?
What legacy do I want to leave?
It's a good question.
It really is, because there's, you know, so many different things I can think about. But the one, I want to help people. So I want people to know that everything is going to be okay. And if it's not going to be okay, there's someone, there's something, there's some resource, there's some program that's there right now ready to help you. Right. We all need something. And there's somebody there for you. There's something there. And so that's what I want to do with people, businesses, nonprofits right now. And I want that far beyond me. And I see my children doing it. I see my daughter doing it. And I love that. So I hope my son chooses to do that as well. But I think that would be the legacy I want to leave behind, is letting people know that they're not alone.
I love that. And it's really dope that you've chosen to be a lighthouse for other lost boats at sea. Uh-huh. And you empower them so that way they're just not dependent on your light, but they can find their own light within themselves, and then also become lighthouses to other light boats. So that way we can start changing the world one at a time. I think that's very beautiful.
I love that. You have a way of making things so amazing.
I appreciate it. Just a little gift that God gave me that I get to share with other people. And it's funny how you said that you weren't even on this journey in the beginning, that someone inspired you. So I've always had a great conversation because I've been like captain of my sports teams and things like that. But this young lady named Goddess Lahadi happened to change my life, because after I was wrongfully assaulted by the police, she came into my life and she touched me on my forehead and my stomach. And it was weird, right? Like if a random person comes to touch you on your forehead and your stomach, you can be like, what? But I wanted to be respectful because she was my elder. And she said, you got to give birth to that. And I really didn't understand what she was talking about. And when she was like, yo, who's your favorite basketball player? And I told her Kobe Bryant. And I shared all these immaculate things. She says, okay, it's cool that you know about everybody else, but what do you know about you? And when I started having self-discovery about myself, knowing that I'm just as valuable as anyone else, and I started valuing me, I started looking at things differently because I looked at myself differently. Instead of being so judgmental about everyone and changing everyone else, I had to learn how to change within myself first. I needed to conquer me first. And I'm still in the process of conquering me daily, right? Because sometimes we hear people say, I've done this journey, I'm healed. Well, no, healing takes place every single day that you're alive until the day that you graduate to a heaven, in my perspective, right? Yeah. So I'm a work in progress, but while I'm in progress, I want to be able to be a positive impact because there's so much negativity in the world.
Oh my gosh. This is so timely. Exactly what you're saying. That's the journey I'm on now. And you're right. It's a daily thing. And I want to say that I realized exactly what you just said, probably in the last 2 years. And the last year, full force. I mean, 75 hard, Andy Frisella.
Yeah.
I'm not there. I'm working on the 75 hard.
Right? That part. Hey, look, after Thanksgiving, I'm going to join you. I'm joining 75 hard after Thanksgiving because I got
cold plunge, right? You doing the cold plunge that day, that gym, it's really about finding out who you are and changing, and those little daily actions. Man, I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning right now, and I've been doing it for a couple of months just to walk. To walk my miles. Get a mile and a half in. It's not a lot.
That's a mindset and a different type of discipline.
Right?
Yeah.
Thank you. And it creates a habit. And now it's easy. I get up and say, I don't want to do it. And guess what? My body's already ahead of me getting dressed.
Yeah. Yeah. So, because you develop new muscles for yourself in order to create different changes that you want. There's a famous quote by Mike Tyson, and he says, you have to do the things you hate like you love it. Yes. And eventually you won't hate it no more. You know what I mean? Because you're conditioning yourself to do something that you've never done before, to put yourself in places that you've never been before. And so I think that's really dope that you started waking up at 4 a.m. because when you first hear that, even me, I'm like, oh, heck no, I ain't waking up at no 4 a.m. But in order to reach the different levels in your life, you have to do different things. And it's almost kind of like a roller coaster. You've been to an amusement park before, right? And they got a mouse with a ruler and you got to stand by the ruler. And if you're not tall enough, then you can't ride the ride, right? Mm-hmm. So to different levels that you want to be in life, requires different requirements of you.
Yeah.
And you can't get mad that the door isn't opening. You have to see if you actually read the requirements in order to get the blessing that you're asking for. And those requirements come with a different discipline, a different consistency, a different hunger in order to open up those doors. Because if that door opened up before you were ready, the same thing that you were asking for could be the same thing that destroys you, because you can't handle the responsibilities that come with this new level. Because they say different levels, different devils.
That's fire. You have no, that's, yeah.
Yeah. So let's go back. So we heard all these amazing titles, things that you've done for veterans, for companies, and people in these different things, which are amazing, right? So I have a question for you that's going to be a doozy. What would you tell the younger Christine? What would you tell the 13-year-old, the 17-year-old, the 20-year-old, the 21-year-old who's figuring herself out? What would you tell her now? What advice would you give her?
What you're doing matters. Because what I did, I thought nothing mattered.
Right.
I wasted my time. I fucked around. I was an alcoholic. I didn't care. I didn't think anything mattered, and I thought invincible. I would tell myself it matters, and to start then.
I love that. So let me ask you something. What's something that you had to unlearn as a young adult in order to relearn something new that helps you excel in life?
Unlearn. I had to unlearn that I had limits.
That's so good.
Beyond just like my mind, which that part is really huge, but I suffer with fibromyalgia, and I had to learn that I don't have these limits. Yes, I have pain. Yes, it's harder for me to do things, but I don't know what the next person's going through, right? Like, I don't know what that person with arthritis is going through, or the person that lost a leg, or that person that's suffering with major PTSD or anxiety.
Yeah.
So we don't have limits. The only limits we have are the ones we put on ourselves.
Yeah.
And I had to unlearn the limits that I had built all around me and start walking through the invisible lines. Slowly I'm erasing them, but it's a work in progress, like you said.
Yeah, I love that. I'm so happy that you said that, right? Because sometimes we allow other people's opinions to create boundaries on our dreams, right? So I always ask this trick question, which is, do you get mad at a blind person for being blind?
Never.
Never.
See, and you don't even think of that, right?
Right? So that's the trick question that I ask everyone, because everyone always says no. I said, okay, cool. How many people can see your dream? No one, because it's your dream.
Yeah.
But on this journey of life, when we're when we're turning our dream into reality, we tell people about the dream. And when people don't support what we tell them that we want to do, we get upset. So why do we get upset at people who are blind to our vision that was never given to us? Now, whether they support us or not is still our responsibility in order to make this vision come true. The question is, can you block out the haters in order to become everything that you said you were going to become? Like earlier, you used a reference around a plant or a flower, right? And so a flower has a job. When you put the seed into the ground, you water it, you nurture it, and its job is to grow and bloom into what it's supposed to become, right? Okay, cool. But you know what also grows with plants? Weeds. A weed's job is designed to destroy the plant or keep the plant from becoming what it's supposed to become. That's a weed's job. So do you get mad at the weed for doing what it's supposed to do, or do you become responsible and start pulling out the weeds in the garden of your life so you can grow to your fullest potential?
Well, I have another question on top of your question. So are we mad at the haters, or are we still trying to convince ourselves that our dream is attainable? Like, when you think about that, and I only thought about that when you were saying that, like, what are we really mad at? Because if we really believed, we would encourage them and bring them along and share and show them our dream to the point where we believed it, they would believe it.
Now, here's the funny thing. just because people can't see your dream doesn't mean they can't see the results of your dream. See, just because someone doesn't support you in the beginning doesn't mean they can't be your cheerleader later on, but it's still your responsibility to take your dream to make it a reality. A lot of times we become prisoners to everyone else's dream because we're no longer working on our dream. There's nothing wrong with the 9 to 5. There's nothing wrong with your vision. But while you're working at someone else's job to create a lifestyle for yourself, when you get off, are you working on your dream to make your dream a reality? Because your vision and your gift and your dream is just as important as the company that you're working for. Because a lot of people are slaves and they don't even know it, and it's okay. Slavery can look differently. And what I mean by that, by being a slave, is you can be so disciplined to your 9 to 5, follow all the rules, go to lunch when they tell you, accept the pay that they give you, go to take holidays and vacations when they want to give you, get laid off if they ever decide to lay you off, right? Yeah. Because you are going there for access for a payment to take care of your family, right? That is the trade-off. You're trading off time for dollars. Okay, cool. That's awesome. There's nothing wrong with that. But what about taking time for yourself and having the same discipline for yourself in order to make your dream or your visions the reality too? So that way, one day your vision will become bigger than the job that you're working for, and you're able to let that go to do what you want to do, to be able to create a situation for you and your own legacy. But a lot of times we fear our dreams and believe in someone else's dream. So we let our dream dwindle, even though the dream has always been waiting for us.
You have no idea. Okay. That was what I did. That was what I did. But we were on a call a year ago.
Yeah.
I just started my business. OC Connections and Networking Solutions just started. We just got our EIN number 3 months ago.
Wow.
So it's taken me a minute. Yes, I'm doing all these other things with veterans, and I'm a realtor, and I'm over here in an office and over here doing part-time. But you're right. I'm doing all these other things, trading my time for a paycheck, all the while my passion is connecting. So that's the hard part. And you really have to look within yourself.
Yeah.
To make sure you break those chains, because
that leap of faith. That leap of faith.
Who keeps us chained? Who keeps us there? That's our choice. And we don't even realize it until we realize it. Oh my God. Speaking with you right now is crazy.
That was so awesome that you said we don't realize it until we realize it. And that is so brilliantly put, because a lot of times when we realize stuff, realization comes with accountability.
Yes.
Right? And we are scared of accountability because that means we have to be accountable for our ability to make it happen.
Yes. Then the action is on us.
You got that, right? We have to be accountable for our abilities. Our abilities are our gifts, our talents, the things that we were born with, the things that we were naturally good at. But are we accountable for our gifts that we get to unwrap every day? Do we take care of our ability to be great, or do we let other people minimize our abilities, and then our abilities become handicapped to someone else's perception? Right? Because the only way a hater's word can work is if you start to believe it. And then you start to say it. Then you start to repeat it. And then you start to live in it. You are in this false prison in your mind, even though your ability has your freedom waiting for you. The question is, can you find self-discipline within yourself and your abilities and be accountable for it, right? Because along with accountability comes with another word, responsibility. And responsibility is the ability to respond. The question is, will you?
Will you? That's it. That's all it is. Will you? And every person listening, every person in the world right now has this opportunity. And so many people don't know it. I don't know if it's because they don't have someone like you in their life to speak it. I didn't have anyone in my life to speak it until one friend 3 years ago said a few words to me.
Yeah.
All this other stuff, I had to go search for. I had to go get someone like you in my corner. And I have friends like you. I have other friends that teach me in other ways. You have to go look for it. So if somebody's out there right now not happy or stuck, you have to go. It's your choice. You have to go change it.
And you know, the beautiful thing about a hater is sometimes a hater can identify the things in your blind spot that you can't see for yourself. That doesn't mean you have to take on the responsibility of what the hater is saying, but it does mean you can take accountability if some of it's true. If some of it's true, there's all things that we all can work on, right? We all have things that we can improve on. You know what I mean? And the fact that you had this transformation, I know the young man gave you these amazing words, may he rest in power and love. But it's one thing to have the knowledge. It's another thing for you to actually apply it. So how did you go from hearing this young man say this to you, and what did it trigger in your life for you to now acquire a new discipline to create the changes you wanted for yourself?
You know, that's a hard. So he told me 3 years ago, and I didn't understand. And it took me. This is so hard to describe.
It's okay.
I had to keep showing up, keep trying things that maybe didn't work, keep trying to figure out, well, what is an entrepreneur? How do I step out? I would pull back. I would get scared. I would be given opportunities, and I would take little steps and then question myself and pull back. So I kept myself stuck. I really didn't start pushing until last year, or probably the beginning of this year, January. And like I said, it literally took me, okay, I don't fucking know, but I'm going to show up every day. I'm going to take daily action. It doesn't matter what I do. All it matters is that I do, and it's for this end purpose, which is to get out there, have my own business, doing what I love. So some days it would just be the getting up in the morning and walking. Other days it'd be getting up in the morning and walking, going to work, coming home, getting on my computer, doing emails for my business. You know, going to 5 events, in a month, going to 2, creating something. Always putting myself out there. And I think it was literally the universe and God just finally knowing I was ready at some point and saying, okay, here is what he meant. Here is what you were supposed to be doing.
See, you have been ready since the day that we were born. Being ready and accepting what you're ready for is 2 different things. It's 2 different things. Sometimes when we have the absence of love, we will distract ourselves with so many other things that we can't accept the challenge of the purpose that we're actually ready for. And sometimes people don't even know our purpose. Well, what is my purpose? What is this? You know what I mean? Then you have to go back to this. Then here's an answer for you guys. What are your abilities?
Exactly.
What have you been good at since the day you were born? What
That's
comes
it.
to you? What do you love to do? What could you do every single day and don't care that you're not getting paid for it because you just love it and you're so good at it? You know what I mean? Those little things are crumbs that lead to the bread table of success, because when you go back to your abilities that have been with you since the day you were born, it'll change your life, right? So I'm good friends with Les Brown, and I remember Les Brown, he was given this scenario in a speech, and he said, imagine that you're at your own funeral, and when you walk inside the church, there's a casket, and when you see the casket, you see yourself inside the casket. And when you see yourself inside the casket, your eyes open. And when your eyes open, you see all of your gifts and talents standing around you, saying, why didn't you use me? I've been with you since the day you were born. Why would you allow such and such to deceive you from us? Why would you allow such and such to break us up? Right? Because he says the richest place in the world is the graveyard from all the unborn ideas.
Oh, gosh.
So don't add to it when every day that you wake up, you get the same 24 hours that everyone else gets to make your dreams reality. And so you said you didn't know how to explain it, but I think you just did an immaculate job explaining what to do. You said, hey, I just woke up and I showed up. Started waking up at 4 a.m. Hey, I got home, I started out sending out business. It's the little consistencies that turn into everything. It's baby steps to giant strides. And the consistency in the baby step allowed you to get stronger in what you were doing in your purpose in order to build you up to get here. No one gets to the top of the staircase just by taking one step. It's a little step every single day that gets you to the top of the staircase. Now, the funny thing about getting to the top of the staircase is when you finally make it to the top of the staircase, you're like, is this it? Thought there was going to be more. And it's one thing to get to the top of the staircase and another thing to keep climbing or being able to stay on top. Because when you get to the top of the staircase, I want y'all to hear me clearly. This thing happens. It's called complacency. Ooh. It's the monster of complacency because you were hungry to get where you were going. And now that you got where you were going, do you become complacent because you made it? Because the hunger will take you beyond your dreams. Now, I'm not saying that you don't have dreams, but I'm saying you can't outdream the person that created you. I don't care what you call it. Mother Earth, higher power, frequency. I just happen to say God, Yahshua. You can't outdream the person who created you. So my question is, how heavy are your dreams?
I have big dreams.
How heavy?
I won't go to the top because I'm going to keep building.
Right?
There's not going to be, I'm there at the top. I have more and more and more and more to do. I want more and more and more people around me doing it. And I want to leave that for more and more people after me.
Exactly. So for me, I want to be able to honor my past and create a better future, right? Yeah. And so we just said, how heavy are your dreams? So that means if your dreams are out of this world and they're so heavy that you can't even lift it yourself, the reason why you can't lift your dreams yet is because you haven't gotten the weight room of your life to be able to get stronger, to be able to handle the weight of the blessing of your dream. And the only way to get stronger is the same way Christine just explained it. It's waking up every day and doing the little things. The little things build muscles that you didn't even know that you had. It's like going to the gym. You don't get in shape one day. Hey, I worked out one day. I'm in shape. It doesn't work that way, right?
No.
You got to keep showing up. You got to keep working out. You got to keep being disciplined. And eventually you'll start to see the changes of your body. Yeah. Well, that's the same thing with your dream. Eventually, you might not know how to make your dream a reality, but eventually, if you keep showing up for your dream every single day, eventually you'll start to see the shape of your dream. Eventually, you'll start unwrapping the gifts of your dream. Eventually, the more and stronger you get, you'll be able to handle the dream that you asked for. So stop getting frustrated that it didn't happen now, because the fact that it didn't happen now could actually be the blessing.
Oh yeah, you're sowing the seed.
Yeah. So here's a question for you. What's something that you had to overcome from your childhood, right? Mm-hmm. And now when you look back at it, you're grateful for what you went through because it made you stronger?
Probably my alcoholism.
Talk to us.
Yeah, probably my alcoholism. Anyone who struggles with that knows how hard it is to walk through that. Through some of those experiences and overcome it. And it's the same for smoking or any other addiction, right?
Right.
It's a challenge. And that's another way that we stretch ourselves and we grow. We get outside of ourselves. We're learning about ourselves. Mm-hmm. It's another thing to admit failure right there. And you failed. You fucking failed. You have to admit it. You have to stare it in the face and you have to find out why. Why did I do this? What inside me hated me so much that I did this? And it is whatever it is that you're doing it for, because there are reasons, and there are reasons we keep doing it. And once you overcome something like that, it's very eye-opening. Now, it took me a long time to share openly with everyone. Most of the time I would share friends, or now I share it as a part of my story.
Yeah, it's your testimony now. Now it's a testimony. Yeah.
And really, it's something that is empowering because I can help other people with this.
I love that.
You
turned something that was holding you back into a blessing to be a blessing to other people. Yeah. And that's what they call testimonies, because you have to have a test, which was alcoholism for you. And then you had to overcome your test, which made you happy. And now you can share your happiness about how you overcame it, and how you overcame it could actually be a ladder or a tool for someone else to put into practice, so that way they can pull themselves out the sunken place.
Yes.
Now, I was really, really listening to you because it is a really important skill. You said it came from a root, an event, right? Which you don't have to share if you don't want to. But what I want people to understand is everything that you go through has a root. Mm-hmm. Imagine it being a computer and you're downloading information and you get a virus. And now that virus is being carried along through the computer. And the only way to get the virus off the computer is to go get the antivirus. So that way it can protect itself against what happened. So when comparison to people, other people's words can be viruses.
Oh, yes.
Sometimes your family can be viruses. Sometimes you can be the biggest virus to yourself because your biggest enemy is your enemy and your self-talk, right?
Yeah.
Because the truth is, you're still the same person that you were right now who had the alcohol situation, because you can only get one of you, right? The difference is your mindset and how you see and how you speak and how you love yourself differently. And how now when someone tries to approach you with the old drama, you know how to handle old mess because you are stronger to be able to handle it. You know, it wasn't a do-over in life. You got stronger in life.
Oh, yeah.
You wind up becoming and realizing that you are the best version of you. Now, it's amazing that you made it this far in life and you haven't even played all out yet. How far in life would you be if we just played all out, me included? You know, because you see the whispering to your soul in the background on the logo, you know what I'm saying, on the TV, blah, blah, blah. Remember, we talked about this, and this was the idea. I turned my whole house into whispering to your soul.
Oh, love it.
I turned my whole place into my studio. I invested money that I didn't know that I was going to have later to be able to have what I have right now. I went and blindly and trademarked it when everyone else didn't believe that I would do it. And it's okay, because I needed them to say that. Lisa Nichols says you should let your pain become your gasoline to your automobile of success. So all the no's that I went through led me to my yes. And I'm saying that if you see all this in the background, I didn't start here. I didn't start here. This isn't where the race started for me. I had to work and consistently build. You see the entertainment system?
Yeah.
One piece at a time. I bought one piece at a time. You see the logo? I bought one piece at a time. I put myself in debt and I worked myself out of debt to pay it off. I got some more stuff that I just paid for Black Friday. I put myself in debt. Matter of fact, let me rearrange that. I'm so sorry. Let me rearrange my words. I didn't put myself in debt. I invested in myself.
Yes.
There's a difference, because there's a power in what you say. And I can even be corrected. So I'm glad I made the mistake while I was talking to you. I invested in myself, because do you know how much money I've wasted on trying to wear somebody else's last name for some clothes to try to look cool for somebody else?
Love the way you put that. Yeah. Yeah.
You know how much money I've wasted at bars buying alcohol, trying to buy a bottle, trying to be cool. You know how much money I've wasted doing other things that I had no business doing. Now, if I would have took all that other money that I wasted and I actually invested it in my dream would have been here a lot sooner. But I had to go through my own storm, my own learning curve, and now just bet on me. I'm just playing all out. Because why would anybody else want to partner with you if you don't want to partner with yourself?
That's so damn true.
So
That's so true, but people don't know that.
Yeah,
we have to tell them. We have to tell them.
It's happening. It's happening. You know what I mean? But the beautiful thing about partnering with yourself is, like you said, you have to go back and tackle your own demons.
You do.
You need to tackle you. You need to fall back in love with you. And that's why I started whispering to your soul, so that way we can have conversations about how we fell back in love with ourselves, which leads me to my next question. How did you fall back in love with you?
I think it was all the work that I was doing, connecting, giving, all the volunteer work, the things that filled me, showing up every day, then starting doing things for me. Mm-hmm. Literally, at some point, I realized, shit, I am good enough. I am worthy. These are my limits. Let's remove them. I am just like everyone else, and everyone else is just as important, amazing, beautiful, as special as me, going through the same thing, and we all have to give each other grace. That's it. That's it. And
girl, you said something so amazing. You said we all have to give each other grace. I think that's dope. So many people will die trying to be somebody else instead of loving who they are. I don't care if I say this every single show.
Yeah.
If you hold up your hands like this, remember when you were kids and we used to put glue on our hands, right? And then we would peel the glue off our hands. And when we peeled the glue off our hands, it was a print of our hands. Well, what did you see in the glue? When you peeled the glue off your hands, what did you see in the glue?
The fingerprints?
The fingerprints. Fingerprints is the magic code to show that you are a masterpiece. Because tell me somebody else with your fingerprints. So
true.
Right? So anytime you get depressed, anytime you get mad, anytime you stop believing, anytime somebody tricks you out of your position, all you have to do is remember your fingerprints. Your fingerprints are proof that you are a masterpiece. Your fingerprints are proof that you are 1 in a billion. There is not another person like you. Your fingerprints are love because somebody took the time to create fingerprints just for you.
That's
so you don't need no one else's approval. All you need to do is remember your fingerprints. When the pressure get too much, I'm enough. I'm enough. This is proof that I'm enough. When people say, I don't want to be with you no more, it's okay. I'm enough. I'm enough because I love myself. When you get fired from a job, I'm enough. I'm enough because I can go create my own job. I can go find another job. When you stop believing, I'm enough. I'm enough because right here is proof that I'm enough. When you realize that you are one of one, and it doesn't matter because can't nobody take that from you, it'll start changing your life. Because now you got a new attitude when you go outside.
One thing, someone can take that from you. You can take that from you.
You better talk, girl.
Right? And that's where we fuck up.
Yes.
That's it right there. Oh my God, I love what you're saying. So perfect.
And guess what? I'm so happy you corrected me. Thank you for the correction. We give it away.
Yes.
We give it away.
Yeah.
We train people how to treat us based off of what we say yes and no to. Do you not realize the power of no? Because a no is you saying yes to you. You got to start saying yes to you. And you see this water bottle, whatever else. You see the water bottle?
Yeah. This
is my water bottle. If I take my water bottle and I pour everything in my water bottle in your cup, and now I'm mad because I'm thirsty, whose fault is it? Whose fault is it? Is it my fault that you took the water? Or is it my fault that I gave my water away?
Right.
Your water bottle is yours. It's for you. Now, what's supposed to happen is you're supposed to allow the water bottle to fill up.
Yeah.
And allow people to get the overflow. But there's so many people out here running around with empty water bottles and they're angry that their water bottle's empty, but it's your fault. Stop giving away your water. Stop giving away your abilities. Stop giving away your heart. Stop giving away your mind, your body, your soul. It's yours. And it's your job to take care of it. You're allowed to let people get the overflow. Well, King, that means we're never going to be angry. No, that's cap. It's okay to be angry sometimes. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be depressed. These are real feelings that you have to acknowledge. These real feelings help you grow. I was talking to my uncle because, he just lost his wife, right? And it's his first Thanksgiving without his wife. And he was saying, man, Lucy, I'm crying. And I said, Uncle, it's okay. And God gave me this analogy, right? And the analogy is, in order for this plant to grow, you see the dirt? Mm-hmm. You got to put the seed in the dark place because under the dirt is really dark. It gets really dark. And we all go through dark times in our life, right? Cool. Well, in order for the seed to grow, what you got to do, Christine?
You got to water it. You got to put it in the dark place and you got to water it.
Thank you. So when you're in your dark place, you got to water it. And when you water it, you got to nurture it. When you nurture it, you give it sunlight. And when you give it sunlight and you take care of the plant, what's going to happen? It's going to grow. Well, it's scientifically proven that the plant's going to grow. Well, guess what? You're a seed. You came from a seed. So when you go in your dark place, your tears actually water your soul so you can grow. It's okay to cry. It's okay to water yourself. Do you not know that when tears fall from yourself, that's a detox, that's a cleansing? Sometimes you have to cleanse yourself, right?
Yeah.
In order to be able to grow. Now, I'm going to give you a parallel that's kind of crazy, right? Do you wash up? Do you take baths? Do you take showers? Yeah. Why do you take baths and why do you take showers?
To clean, to free.
To cleanse yourself. And you run water to cleanse yourself, right? You use the water and soap, put it on your body, lather it up to cleanse yourself, right?
Yes.
Cool. Well, a lot of people take baths and showers. They wash up. They go to bed. Clean. Body's clean. But a lot of people are mentally and spiritually dirty because they haven't took the time to clean their mind. They haven't took the time to clean their spirit. They haven't took enough time to just sit still and meditate and fall back in love with their fingerprints in themselves. So you might go to bed, right? Yeah. You might go to bed physically clean, but you wake up mad, angry, depressed, tired, frustrated because you haven't took the time to cleanse your mind. Yeah. From the music, from what you watch, from the billboards. There's so much toxicity all around us.
Say that again. From what?
from the billboards, from the music, from the television shows, from the conversations, from social media, from work, from jobs, from family, from friends. When do you just take some time for you and love on you? It's crazy that we can set an alarm to go to work, but when was the last time you set a reminder to say, hey, you are amazing. You are loved. You are powerful. You are awesome.
And you have to. You have to.
You have to. And that will start changing yourself because if this is true, there's life and death in the power of the tongue, which means words that we speak. What is your self-talk like?
Oh, I tell myself I'm enough, even when I don't feel it.
Right?
Like, that's when you need to tell yourself.
Yes.
You have to say it in the mirror and you have to make sure you know these words are true. I don't give a fuck if I don't feel it today. These words are true. I'm enough. I'm going to do it no matter what. I'm good. I'm great. I'm powerful. I'm creating my destiny.
Yeah.
And that's it over and over. You're right. You have to clean everything else out. And the hardest part is your words. I catch myself every day.
You have to. You got listen, you got to discipline. You got to discipline your tongue. People might try to flip that, make memes out of it. You know how we are in the stage of that. I don't care. But the point of it is you have to discipline your tongue and how you speak to yourself.
Yeah.
Because if you fail, man, I'm stupid. I shouldn't have did this. Well, let me show you a trick. If you go to a child and say you're stupid, you're stupid, you're stupid, you're stupid, you're stupid, you're stupid, you're stupid,
killing them.
Stupid.
You're crushing them.
Eventually, the child's gonna believe it's stupid.
Yeah.
Well, if that works for the child and you tell yourself you're ugly, you're stupid, you're not worthy, if you keep repeating this negative thing to yourself, you are casting a spell over yourself. And guess what? Life is going to say, as you wish. Because now you've created a mental prison for you. So how did you, Christine, get out of your mental prison? What changed?
What changed?
Yeah.
What changed? I think it hurt. I think it hurt bad enough. I think like you said, your water bottle, I did not give my overflow. I gave my everything till everything. I give my energy. I'm an empath. So I feel everything to the highest degree and I take everything on. And it took me learning about who I was, learning about reality.
Yes.
Realize, oh shit, I'm doing this to me. I am now I still give. But like I said, I wake up every morning. I take my walk. I'm telling myself every day who I am, what I'm doing this for, where I'm going to be, what this is making me. It's making me greater.
Yes.
And I'm able to give. And now that giving is my overflow and I get it back.
You see, you don't allow other people to change you, but allow yourself to have barriers, boundaries.
Boundaries.
You have to have boundaries for you because you love you. Self-boundaries is a beautiful thing. And a lot of times we don't have boundaries. So when people treat us any type of way, it's because you didn't have a boundary. You didn't have the protection to protect yourself. You feel me? So
I would have gotten mad at you 3-4 years ago for telling me that. Yeah.
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 And you know why? Because it goes back to the beginning of our conversation. Accountability. Because a lot of times we don't want to be accountable because it's easier to blame someone else for our own shortcomings.
We can change it. We can change it. We have the power to change it.
Look.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you another question, right? You're alive, right?
Yes.
Cool. Do you know how many people wish they were alive to have your type of problems?
Oh gosh. I am.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we complain when we go through something like, bro, so many people would trade places.
Yeah.
Every breath you take is an opportunity to change your future because someone just took their last breath.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody somewhere in the world passed away while we were talking. So what was so special and amazing about you that you got to take your next breath? And if you don't take that advantage of that opportunity, then you're missing out. Because I always say this quote, right? And it's, if you died today, would you get an A+ on life's report card? If not, and you're blessed to see tomorrow, you better wake up and live like it's extra credit. Because
Yes.
tomorrow's not promised. It's not. We're all 6
Mhm.
degrees of separation from loving each other, but we choose to be addicted to poison. And every breath you take, you got to honor it. You got to cherish it because it could be your last.
It is somebody's last. Yeah, it could be yours.
So what will you do with the next gift of, because we take it for granted. We take it for granted. So what legacy do you want to leave, Christine? What legacy?
It doesn't hurt to be kind. It doesn't hurt to be kind to another person. And I have more than one. Cut people out of your life. There are people you have to cut out of your life.
Wow.
There are family members you have to cut out of your life. If you show someone who you are and where you're going and what you're trying to accomplish, and people are still negative, or want to disrespect your space, that's it. I don't have time for people. I do not have time for those people. So you need to know you are worth it.
Mm-hmm.
You have a gift. There are people that do not need to be around you.
Yes.
And you can go out and continue to do whatever it is your passion is for others, which again, mine is I want to help people. I want to connect people and help people. And I want that to be my legacy. I want my children to continue and do what I do.
You know, I got a trick question. Why do we complain about problems when problems are the things that actually help us grow to become who we are? Ha!
You know,
Ha!
yes, and
you gotta have some type of challenge, right? Life has to present you challenges.
Yes, but we have enough with life where we don't need outside problems. We don't need to let that in. We need to protect our space.
You have to protect your space. But in order to have something to protect, you have to be under attack.
We got enough of that with ourselves. We got enough of that learning.
We are at war with, you got a war within you, right?
Yeah.
And then life is always going to challenge you.
It will. It will.
You know, no one gets on a roller coaster for it to go straight. We get on it for the tick, 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 tick. Oh! Tick, tick, tick.
Yeah.
Have you ever noticed it takes longer to go up than down on the roller coaster?
Oh, yeah, it does.
Doesn't that sound like, life? So in life, in order to build something, it takes forever or a while to build it. And you just got to keep working on it. And you're on the roller coaster, you hear tick, 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 until you get to the top. Well, that's the same thing as showing up for yourself daily. Tick, tick, tick. You got to keep showing up daily. And eventually, you're going to hit the top. And when you hit the top, you're like,
there's the ride right there.
Because
you enjoy what you're building.
Well, guess what? A roller coaster, you know what else a roller coaster is shaped like?
Huh?
An EKG machine.
Oh, yeah.
And on the EKG machine, you got the boop, boop,
yeah,
boop, boop. And one day it's going boop. So what I'm saying is, before you flatline, enjoy the ups and downs of life. Because one day you won't have the opportunity to even get the ups and downs anymore.
Yeah.
So appreciate the ups and downs. Appreciate the rain, because everybody enjoys a rainbow, but you can't get a rainbow without rain.
Rain.
A seed can't grow without water. You can't heal or force yourself to become better if you can't recognize your own issues within you. So appreciate you for the different things that you overcome. And the last thing that I want to say is, whatever you've been through, if you're able to hear my voice right now and you're able to take your next breath, it didn't break you.
Yeah.
That one moment doesn't get to define your life. You do. You get to define how you will respond after you go through whatever you went through. These are the free will of your choices. It's based off of your emotional intelligence and how you handle what your perception is of what you went through. It's a perception. Your isolation is a perception. You're the only one that's going through it is a perception. Oh, no one can understand is a perception. It is something that you program yourself to perceive. But when you get out of your own perception and stop blocking your own way, you'll understand that it didn't break you. It doesn't define you. You do. And how you speak about what you went through will define you. Because you can tell someone's character in a movie, right? Because they say life is like a movie, right? So you have a hero and you have an antagonist. Oh, you have a protagonist and an antagonist, right?
Yes.
The antagonist's job is to challenge the hero. It's the hero's job to overcome the antagonist to save itself. And on this journey, the hero's journey, the hero goes through ups and downs and ups and downs. Mm-hmm. Well, if that's true, wouldn't that make you the hero of your own life?
Yes.
How are you going to save yourself?
Yes.
Or will you?
Oh, I love this. I love this. And you know what? Here's a good thing. If you don't know how to save yourself, get on the internet, go online, go out somewhere and look for people that are positively putting out energy, words of wisdom, what they went through, how they did it. Go find your knowledge. Go find it. Go find your perspective through somebody else.
Yes.
There's somewhere.
Someone's been playing this game of life longer than you.
Yes.
So that means you can always ask questions. A navigation system can only work if you give it coordinates.
That's so good.
Because without coordinates, it's just a navigation system. The biggest lie is knowledge is power. Knowledge is not power. It's just knowledge.
Use it.
But it's the application of knowledge that makes you powerful. And when you apply the knowledge, that turns into wisdom.
Yes.
So before we close out, can you give us your social media if people want to find you? You know, I know you work with Patriot and Pause. I know you work with Next Level Fitness. So if you want to shout them out and tell us about Next Level Fitness and Patriot and Pause, and then in the end of you closing out, if you have any more words of wisdom that you would want to say to a young, inspiring connector, can you give them some gems and then give your social media?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Next Level Fitness is in Irvine, California. They're an amazing gym that allow all active duty reservists and veterans to come work out at no cost. It's an amazing, amazing group of people there. They've got amazing amenities, a doctor, cold plunge, infrared sauna, sports training, athletic training, the jiu-jitsu. It's wonderful. Patriots and Paws is an amazing nonprofit organization that helps, again, active duty veterans.
Shout out to Penny.
What?
I said big shout out to Penny.
Penny Lambright is the founder of Patriots and Paws. 13 years this woman has done this, giving back to veterans, active duty and reservists, free home furnishings, no cost. Yeah. Right now it's in California. We're expanding to Las Vegas, Nevada. You can get down to California, send us an email or call us what items you're looking for and come shop. And then I am OC Connections and Networking Solutions. I am here to help businesses, individuals, and nonprofits connect and grow. Me and my partner do workshops, or we're starting to do workshops to empower and impart what we do naturally to these other businesses so they can go out and saturate themselves into the community. Your community makes you stronger, and your community is wherever you build it. If it's online, if it's in your city, if it's in your county or your state, your community is whatever. Again, erase the borders. You have no limits.
Yes.
I am also with South Coast College. Court reporting is a career that there's a national shortage. So if you don't know about that career, high 6-figure income, it's in demand. Look it up. You do not need to be in court. Justice Judy or Judge Judy, the show, has one of our alumni. Look it up. You can be in the world like Noel and King here acting.
Yeah.
Right. It's so crazy. I guess I would say these are my words. You are perfectly imperfect.
Love that.
We all are. No one's getting out alive. No one is perfect. Nobody's ears are exactly matched to their head. Nobody's got it all. Everybody's got something. So literally what I would say to someone trying to be or becoming a connector, take the time to meet everyone. Never know who you're going to meet or how you are going to help them, or you're going to help your friend, or how that person is going to help another person.
Yeah.
You never know. So,
okay. One last thing, because they have to hear this story. Tell them about the cold plunge.
No, which one? Me or you?
Yours.
Oh, mine's fun.
Well, you can tell them both. You can tell them both. But yours is so powerful because of how it started. So share that story with the people before we close out.
Okay. You can find me at Christine_Mantilla.
Yes.
On IG.
On IG, y'all.
TYLA. Okay. So cold plunge. I go into the cold plunge thinking I'm going to do this. Okay. I'm ready. I get in the cold plunge 10 seconds and jump right out. Like, what is this?
Yeah.
My body's shutting down. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I get back in and do another 10 seconds and get out.
Yeah.
I'm done. I can't do this. I come back the next weekend. I'm like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I think I got to a minute and it was like a minute 30 the second time. I thought my body was
seconds, and then the next time you did a minute and 30.
The next time I did a little bit more than that. And I think by the third or fourth time I did 6 minutes.
So how did you go from, because you're the same person. How did you go from 10 seconds to 6 minutes?
I took someone's advice and I focused on one point in that room and I just breathed. I took deep, slow, calming breaths.
Yeah.
We don't understand the power of our minds and our breathing. And that changed everything.
Yeah.
From a minute, whatever, a minute 30, a minute 60 to 6 minutes. And as you know, at that point, you don't feel a thing. You know it's going to hurt when you get out. That's what you're going to feel. Yeah. And then your first time, what was it, 7 minutes and you were going to go on?
Yeah. I think I was gonna go for the 10-minute mark or whatever.
Oh my goodness.
But we had to go. So I just jumped in. I was like, you know what, if I'm gonna get in this, I'm gonna get in. I'm not gonna get in and then my clothes is all wet and leave. If I'm doing this, I'm going all in. So when I went in, I think I was trying to go for 10 minutes. And then it was like, we had to hurry up and go. So I just wanted to get out because I got bored being inside.
I heard you were talking. Look, I couldn't even breathe. I couldn't the first time control my chest. Everything was like
I was having a dope conversation. Nah. You know, because the conversation kept my mind off of what I was doing. You know what I mean? Because if I would have just focused on, oh my God, it's cold, I would have never been able to do it. But when I changed my mindset, when I changed my mindset about it and I distracted myself from what my mind wanted to tell me, I went beyond my limits or the limit that I put on myself.
Oh, so this is so powerful.
I wanted y'all to understand that, bro. We put limits on ourselves because of our mindsets. And when we finally choose and decide to become consistent in the change of our mindsets, life will change. And life changed because we changed, because we decided to show up differently in life. So shout out your IG one more time, Christine. Shout out your IG for one more.
At Christine_Mantilla. You know, King, you have inspired me. I mean, talking to you this evening in these words, so powerful.
Yeah.
I need to hear this over and over and over.
Me too.
You.
So no, thank you for your powerful words. Thank you for inspiring me, because you said some amazing things. You shared some things that I never knew, and I appreciate you being vulnerable in this environment and trusting me with your story. So I'm excited. I pray that your story is so impactful for someone else, and I pray that they are reach out to you. Hey, Christine, I know you don't know me, but I watched you on Whisper Into Your Soul, and you inspired me. Thank you.
Thank
Now
you.
I'm a connector too. And I just pray that happens like that. I think that's so cool, and that's the whole point of this show. So please check me out. As you can see, my IG is boom 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 King Jaquel Martin. Please follow me on Instagram. I will be dropping clips on the program for the show. As you can see, follow us on IG at Whispering to Your Soul. I just started this platform, so yes, you'll be able to see clips from me and Christine on this platform and every other guest. So bear with me. Give me a little time. I will be putting that information out, but you can follow me at King Jaquel Martin. That's my regular IG. And you can also follow the show at Whispering to Your Soul. And Christine, your IG one more time?
At Christine_Mantilla, Mantyla.
Awesome. And that's our show. This is Whispering to Your Soul. I'm your host, King Jaquel Martin, and I am here with the lovely Christine. And we enjoyed you guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed the show, so we can keep enjoying each other.
Go beyond your limits.
Go beyond your limits. Stop putting the cap on yourself. Stop capping about yourself. Stop capping.
Shit.